All right, let's talk about the Colorado Buffaloes here for a little bit. Let's just say Colorado team that since that disappointing game against Nebraska has played some really, really good football. We're seeing the true talent level of this team emerge. We're also seeing the culture that Coach Prime has imbued really come out. And there's been a recent report involving one of the stars on this team, really highlighting the direction this program is going in terms of the culture, in terms of the structure. Great news for the Buffs. I'm Nick, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, so this Colorado team after the Nebraska debacle, let's call it what it is. A lot of people were raining hate down on Coach Prime in this program. They were saying, listen, overrated, Sanders overrated, Hunter overrated. This team is going south. It's the opposite. They've been playing better and better football, culminating last week with a dominant 40-burger victory, heading in the right direction. They're doing a lot of good things in the Big 12. We're seeing this culture that Coach Prime has really imbued on his players come through. And there's been a recent report involving none other than Travis Hunter, exactly highlighting what this culture is and what Coach Prime is teaching. And this is Hunter's comments talking about the NIL involving a prominent figure in college football. Let's pull up this report, courtesy of Bleacher Report. Colorado star Travis Hunter had some words of advice for ex-UNLV quarterback Matthew Sluka, who opted to sit out for the remainder of the 2024 season due to NIL disputes. For those of you who aren't familiar, Sluka says, allegedly, right, take a grain of salt, of course, that he was promised X amount of dollars in NIL money. That money never came in or was coming in late. And he said, listen, I was promised this money. It ain't coming in the way I think it should. I'm not playing football. I'm sitting out. I'm going to transfer. You guys didn't pay me the way you said you were going to pay me. That's the NIL world we live in right now. A little bit of a controversial issue right now in college football, but Travis Hunter had some interesting remarks on this, going back to the report. On his podcast, The Travis Hunter Show, Hunter told Sluka that the NFL is the ultimate goal, and choosing to sit out rather than being on the field could hurt his chances of making it to the league. Buddy, if I'm you, I'm trying to get to the NFL, Hunter said. NIL can wait. I know what happened to a lot of your teammates, but I'm out there balling on that field. I need all of the film I can get, every piece of bit of the film. It's not about the NIL, it's about the NFL because I know if I would have went to go transfer somewhere else, could have gotten a major amount of money. That's true. But it ain't about the money. It's about getting to the NFL. The NFL going to set you for life. NFL NIL can only set you for a moment. That's 100% correct there from Travis Hunter, showing a lot of maturity and intelligence right there for, again, young guy, of course. And I think a lot of that comes from Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, obviously Hall of Fame athlete in his own right, superstar in the National Football League, celebrity, businessman. He knows his business. He knows what these players need to focus on. And this is the culture we're seeing build in Colorado. Again, focus on doing well on the field. Good things will come. Sounds simple enough. Some players, some programs don't get it. It's clear Colorado does. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are on this. But first, Buffs fans in the comment section below. Obviously, right now, building some momentum after that Nebraska defeat. A lot of people wondering how bad could this team get. Now people are asking how good could this team be, and that's what I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. As we're at this point in the season, predict the final Colorado record. Right, we're heading into the bye, get a little rest and recuperation here. Now you got a chance to look at the rest of the slate of games, figure out how they're going to go. Give us your prediction, Colorado's final regular season record, and put it in the comment section below. But Miles, what are your thoughts on this latest news out of Boulder?
Yeah, Nick, I think this is really good, and I think this is a great mentality that Coach Prime has developed into this team. And I want to address something that people are probably going to bring up, saying, hey, Travis Hunter getting a little bit of NIL money himself, probably like top 5 guys in the NIL era. But let's be clear here. It's not about where he is now because he's worked really hard to get there. It's about where he started. This is a guy that originally went to Jackson State, a team where wasn't going to get as much notoriety. He could have gone to, like, he was one of the best recruits in the country. He could have gone to Alabama. He could have gone to Georgia. He could have really gone anywhere. And he would have done a lot better NIL wise, a lot better, national rankings wise. But he stuck it out, went to Jackson State, followed Deion Sanders over to Colorado. And it's like he said now, he's one of the best, if not the best, one of the Heisman favorites in all of college football. This guy could transfer to any of the college football blue bloods and make a gazillion dollars. Everybody would want to have Travis Hunter on his team, but he's sticking with Coach Prime. He loves the culture they built. He loves the play that he's able to perform on the field. He loves quarterback. He loves everything about this team. So he's sticking it out in here. So I think he's speaking in his own way, true to his word. It's not really about how much NIL money you get. It's about what you can do with that and how best to present yourself to make it to the NFL. I think he's worked really hard to give himself the opportunity to go to the NFL. And I think, like you said, Deion Sanders, he's bred this into the team from day one at Jackson State. He talked about this. We are going to make guys have the opportunity to make it to the big game. I'm a coach who's been there. I've done it. I've played at the highest levels of NFL, of one of the greatest players of all time. I know how to get there. He's preached that since day one, and I think it's really rubbing off on these guys. So to hear Travis Hunter say, hey, I could go anywhere, but NFL is the goal, give that sage advice to Sluka, I think this is really good, and I think we're seeing a change in the world of college football in this NIL era, and I'm glad to see it.
I agree with everything you said there, but I got a little bit of a different take on this story. If you look at the Patriots dynasty in the National Football League, every time after a game or after a practice, especially the last half of the dynasty, when players were interviewed, media would get so frustrated because they just sounded like Bill Belichick, their head coach at the time. They gave the exact same nondescript. We just got to get better. Great team on Sunday. We're going to play. They got really good players. We just got to get better. We're not good enough. We just got to get better. Yada, yada. And it was just like Bill Belichick had literally captured the brain of all those Patriots players and had gotten them all to believe and buy into the message he was saying. And they all bought in and all started to spout it. And it started with their best players, namely, of course, Tom Brady. And you go back to the early 2000s, you look at defensive players like Teddy Bruschi, for example. Travis Hunter is the exact same thing right here. I think this is Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, getting inside Travis Hunter's head and getting him to buy into the message he is saying. And it's such a perfect message, right? You want to maximize success no matter what you do, right? In anything we do in life, we want to be the best we possibly can at it, right? That's just natural common sense. If you're a great salesman, you want to go out there and sell. If you're a great engineer, you want to go out there and design stuff. If you're a great landscaper, you want to go out and lay some sod, right? That's what you do. Great landscapers lay sod. Great engineers design stuff. Football players play football, right? That's that simple. And then Travis Hunter understands that if you want to be good at what you do and you want to get compensated for being that good, you've got to go out and do it. It sounds simple, but in the modern era of NIL and transfer portal, it's lost a little bit. This is Coach Prime preaching that message to his players, getting his stars to buy in. That'll trickle down to the rest of the roster. You talk about championship culture. You talk about winning football culture. This is how it starts. Obviously, very mature by Travis Hunter, not taking away anything from him. He's obviously a very smart guy. I think he's going to win the Heisman. I would be shocked if he doesn't at this point. He's redonkulously good. But this is Coach Prime's messaging. This is his leadership. And this is not a one and done thing. It's getting deeper and deeper in the culture in Colorado, and it will only lead to more success.